I'll start with Diggs just quickly. I did not expect it was going to look this good this early. He's still less than a year removed from tearing the ACL. Um, he's looked less explosive to me, or he had prior to this game, and even after the Carolina game. It's like, yeah, the back shoulder play was nice. They blew a coverage on the deep in that game that allowed him to get the 3rd and 15 conversion. Well, in this one, you want to play zone, he's going to chew you up because he has incredible feel. And that's what the Bills did in the first half. They played zone. They sat back. It actually caused Drake some problems. It caused the Patriots some problems because they were expecting more pressure. They walked up a bunch of looks like they were coming and then dropped back. But if there was one constant in the first half, it was Maye consistently finding Stefon Diggs settling in against zone. Second half, and I'm not really quite sure why they decided to do this, because they had success in the first half playing that way. They tried to heat up Maye a little bit more. Patriots got 6 of their 7 explosives in the second half, and Maye was outstanding against the blitz in the second half. Absolutely picked it apart. I believe 6 for 7 against the blitz in the second half for 100 yards. But it's the connection with Diggs that is allowing that, once again, much as I could just say with the defense and giving teams something to think about, now the way Diggs is playing and the way that Maye and Diggs have learned each other so quickly, and it's still not completely there. Think about the first cover 2, the slant, where Maye wanted him to settle down and threw it to the back hip, and Steph didn't realize it quick enough, and so then the ball kind of glanced off his hands and fell to the ground, and it was a 3rd down play, and it was disappointing because it was there. That should have been a completion. That's only going to get better when they start seeing the game the same way, because they're already seeing it pretty close to the same way thus far. And it's giving Maye this almost like this bailout option. Like, I if all else fails, I think I can throw it to Steph, and Steph's going to go get the ball. You saw it in particular on the 32-yarder down the sidelines where Maye gets outside the pocket, directs traffic. Diggs is covered in the probably in the curl hook area, maybe 12 to 15 yards down the field. But when he gives him the point, he spins out, loses Tre'Davious White, gets behind him, and then an incredible throw by Maye on the run with pressure in his face, and Diggs getting the feet in bounds along the sidelines inside the 5-yard line. An incredibly big play, a momentum play, a confidence building play, as they've, not that they don't have confidence in each other now, but it just continues to grow. And that was one of those instances where you just think, like, what can this be if Steph gets a little bit more explosion in his legs? And I as I said, I think we started to see some of that. The run after catch stuff was outstanding. I believe it was 83 or 87 yards beyond expected in this game from Diggs after he caught the football. So terrific performance from the 2 guys. And now teams are going to have to look at it and go, do we need to slide our coverage to Stefon Diggs? And the effect that could have for the rest of the group, whether it's Kayshon Boutte, Hunter Henry, Austin Hooper, Mac Hollins, or even someone, as I mentioned with Callahan last night, like Kyle Williams, who was open deep down the field a couple times in this game, could not get him the ball, didn't even target him. But there were plays to be made. I think one play in particular, Maye bailed a little early. Another one, there was some pressure, and he threw it underneath. I mean, it would have been a tough throw over the top, but he was open. So you're starting to see, even without the results, Williams' ability to stretch the field is making some things happen. And now if you have Diggs doing this and you start devoting coverage, do you get him isolated one-on-one on the backside and get that explosive 60, 65-yard play that you've been begging for, clamoring for? And we know what that can do for a football team. You know, it's great when you have 7, 8, 9, 10 play drives, control the clock, move the ball down the field and score. It's also great every once in a while when you just say, boom, we got you. 1 play, 2 play drive, 65 yards, touchdown. The things that can do for your offense, the momentum, what it can do to the crowd, everything is critical in that regard. Those 2 are really coming along, again, much faster than expected. And I want to harp again on the zone stuff with Diggs. I've always been a believer in the talent. I think if you've ever read my writings anywhere, followed me when I was at the NFL Network, whatever, I talked about him being one of the 3 or 4 best receivers in the league for that whole stretch of 4 years. Obviously, it hasn't quite looked the same. It didn't, had a nice first half in Houston before he got hurt with the knee. Is he a 1? Well, he's not the high-end 1 anymore, but if he's a 1 for this team and can dictate coverages, and his feel for the game is second to none. And even if he doesn't have that full explosion pre-injury, the ability to see it and understand when he's got to sit, when he's got to keep moving, how to find those little holes is as good as anybody still in the league. And the Patriots are certainly benefiting from that.